Hello and welcome to Portuguese Limestones, the YouTube channel where you can know everything about Portuguese limestones. On today's video we are going to make a brief introduction about some of the most important Portuguese limestones. So here we have quite some panels where we can show all of these limestones. So I'm going to start here with probably the most important of them all, which is the Mocha cream limestone. It's quite a famous limestone, beige color. And it shows this parallel vein structure. This is mostly used on exterior cladding. Next to the Mocha cream we have the Bresa. The Bresa is a very special limestone, normally supplied in small quantities because the quarries are quite limited and small. And what we see is a brownish to beige color. And this limestone is normally quite hard and is known to have lots of fossils and calcite. It's very irregular, the structure, and normally it's supplied for decoration projects. Right here we have another small quantity decoration limestone. It's called Amarelulirius. Lirius is the name of a flower. Amarelo stands for yellow. So basically we have this kind of yellowish, brownish color with this clouded structure, and this is known to have quite some strong white calcite, as we can see here. This is also supplied in small quantities, small blocks, for decoration projects. So coming a little bit to the back, and we have the Alpinina. Alpinina again is another decoration material. The Alpinina is a beige color tone limestone with a pinkish, slightly pinkish color. And it's known to have quite some yellow to dark red veins and quite some strong signs of calcite, as we can see here. This is just a big calcite line that runs through the surface, but this is what makes this limestone special, this kind of look and the contrast with the calcite. So right here in the middle of our panels we have the other famous Portuguese limestone, which is the Molenos. Molenos is quite known well in North America, Europe, Asia, and it's essentially a very pale and fine-grained material. What we see is this fine-grained structure. This is the Molenos fine. There are many other variations of the Molenos with more grain, with different colors, but this specific one, it shows this kind of appearance. It has several little dots with brown color all over its surface. And this is the kind of stone to be used on cladding or flooring, mostly. So then we are starting to see some different colored limestones here. So here we have the Ataíja gray. Ataíja is probably the hardest limestone in Portugal. Normally blocks are small, but there's quite some quantity of this limestone, at least relatively in relative terms. And what we see is, as being a hard limestone, is very used on landscaping projects. Normally the sizes are not too big. And what's interesting about this limestone is that it flames quite well. So these samples here, these panels, they are flamed, so you can see this kind of pale color. This is a specific one is the Ataíja Blue or Ataíja Gray, which shows a kind of a light gray color with a beige, slightly beige color tone. So right here we have the Toefl. Toefl is a dark beige to brown limestone, which shows lots of fossils and inclusions. So this is normally a harder limestone, but it has occasionally some holes. So this is mostly used on decoration projects. Coming further to the back, here we have the Molenos Blue limestone. So it's the sister of the Molenos fine that we've seen before. Molenos Blue sun cut, so basically gives you this kind of look, sort of concrete, very light gray color. And the Molenos is a hard limestone that accepts, this kind of Molenos accepts different kinds of finishings. Right here we have a type of Molenos with a medium grain, a little bit irregular, and it has this kind of dotted areas with a brownish color. This is a very special kind of limestone. Coming back to here, this is a Molenos with a sun-blasted finishing. Molenos beige with a medium grain structure. And what we see is just a completely plain background. This is essentially by sun-blasting. What you do, you make the whole surface quite pale and white. So with not much contrast. So this is the sun-blasted Molenos. Finally here we have a type of Molenos Blue with a flame finishing. So not all limestones accept well the flame finishing, this one accepts. And what you see is this kind of little flakes, and the natural color of the stone becomes a little bit lighter. And yeah, this has a good anti-slippery capacity, normally used for flooring outsides. So yeah, that's it. So what we've seen here was, well, an introduction to some of the most relevant Portuguese limestones. What we see is that, you know, Portuguese limestones are mostly beige, brown or gray. So that's the range, that's the palette of colors. It's a bit limited, but there are quite some options in terms of beige or gray limestones. They can be softer to harder, which will have an impact on the type of finishings you can do. So that's it about our brief introduction of the Portuguese limestones. Thank you for listening.